Today's video is a throwback to a simpler time where a man could simply talk about something for talking's sake. Quite frankly, there's no real reason for this particular video to have a top list format other than a lack of creativity when it comes to naming it. Today I'm going to talk about 3 common tips that players really like to ignore and why that is. There really is not any educational purpose behind this video, it's, as I already said, just talking for talking's sake. So if you want to join in on the discussion, feel free to do so down in the comment section below. Now without further ado, let's get right into it. Number 1. Joining voice chat. When it comes to voice chat, it is often praised as a surefire way of winning more games than you otherwise would. Of course, communication is important. While you can get away with using game commands such as group up or my ultimate is ready to communicate some of the most basic pieces of information, nothing comes close to how fast information can be transmitted and reacted to through voice. Voice chat in general can really make one's life easier. 12 eyes and ears are better than only 2. Having the opportunity to quickly communicate an upcoming threat can be very valuable. Next to obviously discussing more advanced strategies than simply grouping up and tossing all your ultimates into a graviton search. When it comes to why players like to ignore this advice, I feel like it's a bit of a personal question. Some people prefer to focus only on the game. Things that teammates would call out, they see and hear anyway. And teams that talk too much can even be seen as a distraction. Others are simply sick and tired of listening to people's nonsense. With a lack of what I would call confirmed accurate information coming from the game itself and various channels on YouTube distributing their own version of what they perceive to be accurate information, discussions on what is or is not the right thing to do can get very tiring. Not to mention that any game with a player base as massive as Overwatch inevitably faces a lot of toxicity and just annoyances in general when it comes to both text and voice chat. It is often a matter of experience. To some people, enduring the occasional toxic guy is worth the benefit of voice chat in general. Others may have been less fortunate, encountering more scenarios where voice chat was simply more bothersome than helpful. Saying that one is more true than the other is simply not possible, because we are all bound to make different experiences. But at the end of the day, I find it very easy to understand why some people just don't want to bother with it. Number 2. Regrouping. In a team-based game, it is easier to stand up to the enemies by facing them with the entirety of your squad rather than attempting to go 6v1. I feel that is a very simple concept to get behind. Overwatch, more than most of the games I've played before, relies on players working together as a team. Regrouping does not only have many benefits like not feeding ultimate charge to the enemy, not running into the risk of wasting your own ultimates, being more time efficient when it comes to the objective, and having a higher chance of winning a teamfight to begin with. It is also a fact that refusing to participate in this practice can be a death sentence to the entirety of your team. So why is it that players often refuse to engage in this very basic yet mandatory action? Well, waiting to regroup is, plain and simply said, boring, especially in a game that at times feels extremely action-packed. Who likes to just stand around and do nothing? I mean, quick play aside, you'd assume that players who play competitively have winning as their primary goal in mind, so even if it's boring, going against it seems very counterproductive to that goal, doesn't it? Well, many players who do play Overwatch competitively on ladder have a background of playing other games, whether they be MOBAs or shooters or anything else. In other games, team reliance might not be as prevalent as in Overwatch, meaning it does not matter if you go 4v6, 2v6 or even 1v6. Provided you are good enough, you would be able to take out the entirety of the enemy team all on your own. And such players often bring habits from these other games, habits like poking between engagements, which depending on which hero you play can get you killed very quickly in Overwatch if not done properly. But also the aforementioned independence that they are used to from other games, which would usually allow them to carry with their individual performance. While I can see why some players have a problem accepting the team-reliant nature of this game, this point is definitely something that's a lot more difficult to excuse. And lastly, number 3, don't be toxic. I don't even think this one needs much of an introduction, if anything. Why shouldn't you be toxic? Having a shitty attitude makes you play differently, being angry makes you play worse, and pissing your teammates off does the exact same thing to them. The only thing you accomplish is further decreasing any chance for victory. Now the fun part, why do people get toxic? Well, some people are plain and simply assholes and they accept it as such. Other people are short-tempered, others again might have lost patience after countless matches filled with BS. And I could probably pull another few reasons out of my ass if I wanted. While I'm not here trying to defend anyone's shitty attitude, mine included, I don't think the game makes it easy to diffuse problematic situations to begin with. In short, the game does a piss poor job of telling the players what actually fucking matters in this game. The tutorial is as basic as it gets and gold medals don't exactly scream teamwork either. Beyond your team has too many snipers, the game honestly doesn't do much trying to guide the players towards the right direction. That just leaves too much room for arguments that players love to have mid-game when they should really be focusing on the fucking match. I mean, at the end of the day, whether the game tries or doesn't try to convey the right message, someone who's inherently an asshole will always find reasons to be toxic anyway. But hey, maybe the new reporting system makes it so we at least don't have to listen to them anymore. But this is me done for the day as I talk about 3 common tips that players often like to ignore. If you enjoyed the video, then do let me know by dropping me a like on your way out. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you all next time.